Thank you. It's 10. I think, Yolanda, you can start the webinar. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our info session on the Cluster Collaboration Lab, which will take place in Kuopio in Finland on the 28th to the 30th of October. We are very happy to welcome you this morning to give you key information on the event and the opportunities it holds, but also some practical guidance as to travel to Finland and also on how to register. So my name is Nina Hoppmann. I'm from the team of the European Cluster Collaboration Platform, and I will guide you through the webinar this morning. If you have any questions, just put it in the chat and we will get back to them after the initial presentation. So very warm welcome. We have a packed agenda this morning. First of all, to give some welcoming words both from the European Commission and also from the hosts who are kind enough to welcome this ECCP event to Kuopio. Then we will go into the C2Lab event format to give you some explanation as to what is the C2Lab, how does it work, and what kind of topics will we discuss at the event, and then go into the more practical details regarding travel information, as well as how to register. And we have reserved some space for Q&A with you for with your questions, so that we can have all your answers, all your questions answered, so that you don't leave with any open points after this info session, and that you can hopefully register confidently for this event. First of all, you have both the chat and the Q&A function active here in Zoom, so you can use the chat or the Q&A to send in your questions. We will keep an eye on both of them. And if you want to speak in person, you can also do so. You can raise your hand with the raise your hand function, and we can give you the permission to speak as well. But please note that the session is being recorded and that we will publish this recording on the European Cluster Collaboration Platform on the page of the C2Lab for playback in case you need to revisit any information, or for anybody who was not able to join us this morning but would like to revisit the info session. And with these introductory words on the housekeeping, I would like to hand over the floor to Romain Bautier from the European Commission, SMEs, to give you the welcoming words on the official side.
Thanks, Nina, and good morning to all. Yes, I'm Romain Bautier, project advisor at SMEs, which is the European Innovation Council and SMEs executive agency, an agency of the European Commission implementing several innovation programs of the Commission, including the Single Market Program, which has the support to European clusters with actions like ECCP and Euro clusters, for example. So I'm very happy that to open this info session on behalf of the European Commission this morning. Today we will talk about the next Cluster Collaboration Lab, or what we call C2Lab, which will be held in October in Kuopio in Finland, jointly with the Cluster Summit Finland. We are working on it since the last month, including during the summer with the with the ECCP team and the Finnish partners, and so to prepare a very exciting program that you will discover during this session. The ECCP team will also provide all the details about the process of a C2Lab. But I would like to already say a few words about it and why we believe that joining this activity can be really a very good opportunity for you. So about the C2Lab, there are parts of the services that we provide with the European Cluster Collaboration Platform, the ECCP. With the ECCP, you have access to platform, to information, connect online with people, but we have also this in-person services, activities, events, and the C2Lab is one of these activities, which really the goal is to give the opportunity to the participants to collaboratively work on their project ideas and initiate partnerships. These workshops, during this workshop, you work with your peers and potential partners on your project idea, and you are guided by a team of facilitators to help you to work on that. So the goal is really to stimulate and scale up collaboration and new cross-border value chains. So to summarize, if you want to have to network, if you want to scale up your project idea, you want to share your project ideas with your peers, you are looking for partners. So the C2Lab is definitely a relevant activity for you. Now, more specifically about this C2Lab that will be in Kuopio, in North Savo, in Finland. So this is really a region in the heart of the country and hosting several clusters. You will meet several of them today, they're presenting also during this info session. During this C2Lab, it will be even more than the opportunity to meet Finnish clusters from the region, because it will be connected to the Cluster Summit Finland. So meaning that most of Finnish clusters will be joining also. So for the participants who will travel to Finland for this event, it's really a unique opportunity to connect with the Finnish innovation ecosystem, which is definitely, and no need to say, one of the strongest in Europe. As for example, during you can find with the new European Innovation Scoreboard 2025 recently published that Finland is again among the innovation leaders in Europe, in the top 4 or 5, I think. And now about the domain. Sometimes we have events more specific on a domain like green transition, artificial intelligence. In this case, you can come whatever is your domain. As we said, it will be linked to the summit where clusters from all domains will join. However, we identified some target areas, and it's even more more relevant for you to join if you are interested by these areas that are comprehensive security, water resilience, agri-food, digital, raw materials, and energy transition. So you will learn the colleagues and the partners from Finland will present more in detail these topics that will have a specific focus during this C2Lab. So to conclude, I'm sure that the info session will make it clear to you what are the benefits to join this C2Lab in Kuopio. And motivate you to go to Kuopio this autumn. If you have questions, we have the Q&A also, and anyway, it's always possible to contact the ECCP team for any additional detailed question that you can have after the info session. So thanks for the attention. Now it's time to go more in detail, even in the presentation, in the program of the event. And for this, I give back the floor to you, Nina. Thanks.
Thanks, Rama, and I will pass the ball directly to Bailey Lähtismäki from Savonia University of Applied Sciences, one of our hosts. So here are your welcoming words for everyone. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Nina and Ronen, for the wonderful words about our city. Kuopio is a vibrant city that has been developing and continues to develop, and we are warmly welcoming all of you to join us for the very interesting upcoming events that we would like to share some information about today. So first we will talk a little bit about the Cluster Summit Finland 2025. And this is a event that is right before the C2Lab, and we are aligning it to make sure that we have the biggest benefit and most effective collaboration possible, not only for our national actors, but all of our international partners. So the Cluster Summit Finland 2025 is our annual cluster event where we gather all of our RDI actors, including clusters, ecosystem representatives, educational institutions, research institutes, public authorities, and other policymakers to build a robust RDI landscape for the future. During our Cluster Summit Finland 2025, we will go over so many topics that we would like to also welcome our international guests to join. And we have a little bit of information about the schedule. If you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So our Cluster Summit Finland 2025 is organized by our regional RDI actors and clusters, and we will go through everything from the scope of clusters in the regional strategy all the way to real-life case examples of how clusters and businesses work together, both from a practical side to a research side, as well as a introduction from our regional clusters and networking opportunities. After that, we will have a workshop to also gather the insights of how we can develop our national, regional, and local cluster strategy for the most impact for the future. And we'd be very happy to have everyone's insights and good practices there. And we will have a wrap-up session from the results of the workshop, which will lead into our panel discussions. And here we would also like to hear from the other EU organizations about good practices and how we can take some of these ideas into the actions. We will finish up the afternoon with a wonderful cluster and laboratory tour and more networking opportunities where you'll get to discuss directly with our cluster representatives and see the testing, piloting different facilities, as well as all of the laboratories and equipment that we have to offer. And this is a great chance to work together and find new opportunities for collaboration. Of course, those discussions will continue with our networking dinner in the evening, and everyone is more than welcome to join either from the start of the day or whenever you arrive in Kuopio, which we will tell you a little bit more about later since it's quite easy. Thank you. And before that, in fact, we will have the Clusters Meet Regions, which is another series of events that is organized by ECCP. And this time the Clusters Meet Regions will be in Vaasa on the 24th and 25th of September, so coming quite soon, but you still have time to join. And the Clusters Meet Regions in Vaasa is a great opportunity because Vaasa is in fact the Nordic energy capital and leads the way for all renewable technologies, smart energy systems, and industrial innovation. So if any of those topics interest you, this is the best opportunity to come and directly discuss with the key stakeholders that are leading experts in the field, because we will also be showcasing Finland's leadership in sustainable energy practices, as well as digital solutions, and how we can contribute to the broader European innovation agenda. During the Clusters Meet Regions, we will have partner discussions, opportunities for networking with SMEs, investors, other providers, and develop some of the ideas that we can bring forth to the C2Lab as well. Next. Thank you. So some of the highlights of the agenda. We will have the workshops as well as pitching sessions and sharing of good practices and networking opportunities. During the second day, we will have the hands-on insights into the region's innovation ecosystem, including inspiration sessions and company and site visits. So you get to see the full picture of everything that Vaasa has to offer, as well as the innovative energy sector. Please join us there too. Thank you.
Many thanks, Bailey, for all the for the preparation of all the for the presentation of all the preparatory work. Maybe we can also say for the C2Lab, since all of this is very much connected and could be very interesting for you to join. But to go to the C2Lab event format itself and explain how the C2Lab works, I will hand over to Antonio Novo from the ECCP team to give you the details on what to expect in the C2Lab.
Thank you, Nina. Good morning, everyone. The C2Lab is about facilitating, mentoring the definition of excellent projects. The idea is to dedicate 1 day and a half to meet other people interested in the same ideas as you, identify what could be done to improve those ideas and to mature them, and support you in that process with expert mentorship. If we could go to the next slide. So it's not only for cluster. It's very important for you to understand that. We are inviting also to join us in this C2Lab any SME, any company that could act as engine for those projects or promote them internally. So it's quite common for having those participants in the C2Lab, and they are key in facilitating the definition of very real, very I would say coherent projects. Of course, cluster organizations are invited, but also universities, research organization, any related actor coming from the institution or the civil society, policymakers. So not only you are invited, please spread the invitation to all your cluster members or your network relations that could be interested in exploring this kind of lab and developing those project ideas. Next slide, please. So what could you expect during the workshop? We will work intensively on the definition of those projects. We will start with as a general presentation, okay? But after the presentation, you will be invited to pitch your ideas, and you will be invited also to select those ideas that could be of your interest and make working groups, I would say. Usually we split the groups, the full attendance in groups or between 6 and 8, 10 people that will work near full day on defining those projects, probably 1 or 2 projects up to the level of work package or even action plan to continue developing it during the next period, I would say next week or months. So it's not just a theoretical discussion. We really want to have as output of the C2Labs real projects that will be presented. It is so from the previous ones. If we go to the you can see here that this will be the 8th C2Lab, and we have excellent references of success projects coming from previous events. I will give you, for example, InnovateEU, that is a Horizon CSA project with 15 points over 15 on evaluation, and it was born in Ljubljana, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but there are many other samples. So this is the idea. Next slide, please. And we will develop it through the full day of 29 and on the 30 up to noon, up to 12. Okay, we will start, as it was said, with some short site visits for inspiration on the thematics. The proper C2Lab will be started at 11, and we will hear as introduction to the topics also the water technology cluster and the comprehensive security ecosystem, I would say, association or entity alliance that will introduce us to the topics and the priorities and their approach to those concepts. And after that, we will have also a presentation of funding opportunities related to the topics that are of interest for the attendance, and the presentation of the input paper. After the lunch, we will split the groups on smaller working groups and work on it, not only during the afternoon, but also on the following morning. Of course, there will be a networking dinner, and you will have many opportunities to exchange with others, not only on those big ideas, but in other potential project opportunities that you could identify. Next slide, Nina, please. First, it's important to understand that we are open for any project idea that is of aligned, I would say, with the European priorities. It needs to be related also with the business activity, with the cluster activity, I would say. But it's not just that we are discussing on water resilience or security. It's open for any project idea that could be of interest to others. I mean, for example, construction is not here in the list, but if there are several attendants that are interested in developing any project idea related to construction or biotechnology or whatever, we are open for it and we will welcome it. But you see here, we have created a list of prioritary topics on Kuopio. And if you identify yourself with any of those topics, you are invited to tell us so on the registration process to work on it. But anyhow, I will invite now to present you some of those topics to Harriet, I think. Yeah.
Thank you, Antonio. Indeed, we will have a look at some of these topics that are put on the table by our Finnish host. So Harriet Lonka, you have the word to present us the comprehensive security topic.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nina, and thank you, Antonio. I'm very excited and enthusiastic to present you the comprehensive security topic, which is now here for the first time present in the C2Lab context. And we in North Savo have the comprehensive security cluster. It's a new activity and initiative by our region. And here I would want to bring you some ideas of what this actually is about when we talk about comprehensive security. So the background is very much, you can find it, for instance, in the former Finnish President Sauli Niinistö's recent report, Safe Together, Strengthening Europe's Civilian and Military Preparedness and Readiness. So here President Niinistö underlines the importance of how we overcome and can get across the sectors and silos in our approach to enhance EU resilience. And how this is structured when we talk about comprehensive security, for instance, in North Savo cluster. So this is much about strengthening the resilience in the society as a whole, both for normal conditions and for crises. So this comprehensive security concept is about how to safeguard the vital functions of society for all circumstances and through all societal branches. And what this means for the SMEs and for business development, this is about very much how we increase the industrial activity in cross-sectional manner. So how we push forward the industrial modernization, connecting different business fields and creating new business opportunities at these interfaces. As you know, the interfaces are the places where we have the most interesting innovations very many times. So in All in all, this is about enhancing the innovativeness in various related fields. So it's about, we want to kind of encourage you, all the participants, to think about how you can increase new innovations in context of comprehensive security in a wide range. We can talk defense industry, dual-use technologies, but also various social innovations, robust industrial solutions, and very many other aspects. So the next slide, we will see some ideas of examples of the project topics that can be related to the comprehensive security thinking and use this kinds of point of view. For instance, the increased resilience for critical infrastructure, it's very basic for the resilient society in many fields which can be combined here. Of course, continuity management of industrial installations and services. So we're not only talking about technological solutions. And then, for instance, in North Savo, the food production, food security is very much an issue. So safeguarding the food production against, for instance, cyber attacks, shortage of energy, and water deficiency. So as you see, this combines many fields in the C2Lab. So you can feel free to think about this aspect, how you would like to structure your project idea in this context. And of course, we welcome innovations for defense technologies and dual-use technologies, very timely topic for whole Europe. And then, of course, also preparedness for responding to accidents and recovering from them in many sectors. So when you think about yourself, who should join these discussions and hopefully the discussions we can have ongoing during all the C2Lab event, the relevant industry sectors are very many: energy systems, machinery, water management, food industry, chemicals, ID, cyber, and you can think of many others. So I warmly welcome you to Kuopio and create together with us also new innovations and technology solutions in the context of comprehensive security. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Harriet. Very interesting indeed. And we would like to also have a look at another topic that we would like to discuss at the C2Lab, which is water resilience. And for that, I'll hand over to Tina Hartingen to give us more details from the Kuopio Water Cluster.
Thank you very much. So I will talk about one of the main topics for this Kuopio C2Lab, which is water resilience. And first, I tried to gather some ideas that why is water resilience so important issue nowadays. Water supports all life and economy, food production, and healthy ecosystems worldwide. So it is essential in many ways. That said, there are severe threats to our water resources at the moment that we are facing. For example, Europe faces pollution, issues with climate change, and overuse that are stressing our water resources. Also, one issue is PFAS pollutants and other pollutants that can cause health risk and have costly impacts, and also impacts on the environment. And there is also this water demand gap that is said that by 2030, the global water demand will exceed the supply by 40%. So this also requires urgent measures. And now all these threat sets, that also gives us a great opportunities for the new innovations and also for new business to develop to tackle these issues. Okay, I will just also give some examples of project topic themes, and these are based on, for example, the EU Water Resilience Strategy, which was adopted in May 2025. So water resilience is a big issue, important in EU. So these themes could be, for example, about restoring and protecting the water cycle, then securing clean and affordable water for everyone, detection and prevention of PFAS, reduction of nutrients pollution, then enhancing the resilience of water infrastructures towards physical, chemical, and cybersecurity attacks. So also related to security that Harriet just presented. Then strengthening the innovation capacity and new investments for sustainable water management. Then one topic could be about leakage reduction and infrastructure modernization. Then issues about the climate change adaptation. And then one important is also the water food nexus, how to achieve sustainable and resilient food production. And then also the infrastructures in the city that can handle floods, which are increasing because of the climate change. Then because water is running out, we need to think about the safe water reuse methods and the technologies. And then also this security aspect again, that how to ensure water for critical uses, for example, in crisis situations. Of course, you are welcome to join with any other water related or cross-sectoral topics, or these are just for your inspiration. Okay, I thank you on my part and welcome you all to Kuopio.
Many thanks, Tina. Indeed, many issues that would need to be addressed. These were just two of the topics that you've seen on the slide with the list of topics for the C2Lab. So we hope to build working groups around these two topics and also the other ones, but also remember you can send in your own project idea on how to do that. We will get to it in a second during the registration. So yeah, feel inspired, and if you feel like you can and want to work on any of these topics, please let us know during the registration process. And now I hand over back to Bailey to give us some details on traveling to Kuopio to make it as easy for you as possible.
Yes, thank you everyone, and a warm welcome to Kuopio. As you heard, we have some interesting opportunities in the city based on our strengths, but those also include, like you mentioned before, agri-food, digital, energy, and so on. So this is another reason why coming to Kuopio would be a valuable opportunity for everyone. In addition, it's actually quite easy to get to. So Kuopio is located right in the center of Finland, and it is only 1 hour by plane from Helsinki. And there are 4 daily flights operating every day from the morning until the evening. So lots of opportunities. And if you would like a more scenic route, the train ride is gorgeous, and it is only 4 hours from Helsinki. And there are 7 different connections running daily, again, from morning to evening. And you can see quite a lot of the countryside, and it's quite a nice tour, in fact. And to make it even easier for everyone's travel arrangements, on the 30th of October, after the C2Lab ends, we are offering a bus ride to either the city center, where there's the train station, or to the airport, to make it as easy as possible to catch the flight that is leaving at 2 p.m. or the train that is leaving at 2:11. And luckily, these are quite close to the city center, so it's even possible to have your own taxi, or if you're coming by rental car, that's also possible, because there are the car rental pickups and drop-offs both at the train station and at the airport. And as far as the hotels go, we have quite a few options that we have listed in the travel information, and we have arranged discounted prices for all of the participants. And we have a wide range to offer, from everything in the downtown city center to a more scenic location by the lake and forest. So it's really up to you what you would like to choose. However, the city of Kuopio is quite compact, so no worries about transportation, because everything is in a walkable distance. So you can even walk around the city center in any free time that you would have. And all of the information can be found online with the link there. Unfortunately, the travel and accommodation costs are not covered, but we are a reasonably priced city, so it's not very expensive. So warm welcome.
Thank you, Bailey. And to continue with the practical info, let's look at how you can register. So hopefully it was the presentation was already so interesting that you would like to register now. So how do you do that? We use the B2Match platform which gives you several options already in preparation for the event that you can use. So you have the link in the chat that the colleague has put directly to B2Match. We use the platform for several ECCP events. So you might already have a B2Match user profile. So you can use that profile to also register for this event. If you don't have one, it's relatively easy to just create a new account with an email, with your email address, set a password and your name, and you can log in to B2Match. You will get to a page where you have the registration form with several questions to fill out, both about you, yourself, and about your organization, so that we have the key information on both you and your interests, as well as the organization itself. And we have several questions, for example, will you also join the Cluster Summit Finland on the 28th, or will you just join the C2Lab? Will you join both events? Which of the topics we have presented is of most interest to you, so you can select the topic of your choice, so that we can already have an idea as to in which working group you would like to be. And we will also ask you some questions if you have your own project idea, so you can submit that in writing, so that we see what you would like to work on and can invite you to pitch it to others, either in one of our pitching sessions that we hold online before the event, or at the C2Lab itself, and also the organizational details that are standard for any event registration. So you fill out all of these forms, we get the notification about your interest, and we will review it, and you will then await the confirmation, which will get to you as soon as possible. And once your registration is accepted, you have several possibilities in B2Match to complete your profile with more details. You can see who else is coming to the C2Lab, and you can also book bilateral meetings, which is quite a nice feature. So in case you already see somebody you would like to work with during the C2Lab, you can request a bilateral meeting online until the 28th of October at any point, and see whether they accept, and you could already exchange with them. And what you can also do is copy what you've put in the registration form regarding your project and publish it in the marketplace, so that everybody sees what kind of project idea you put forward and would like people to join you. This is public to all the accepted attendees, so any project idea you would like to put in the marketplace will be visible to the accepted attendees of the C2Lab. Just to keep that in mind. And just one note, in case you will also be visiting the Cluster Summit Finland, in the confirmation email you will also get a link to a survey with some questions for you that will be helpful to the preparation of the Cluster Summit Finland. So please fill it out once you get the confirmation for the Cluster Summit. As I mentioned, we will have online pitching sessions in preparation for the C2Lab, which is an additional opportunity, optional but very helpful, on the 18th in September and on the 9th of October, both at 10 a.m., which is an opportunity to either present yourself and your organization, or to already pitch a concrete project idea for which you would like to have people in your team, in your working group. The invitations will be sent shortly to all the confirmed participants. So if you're interested in joining, please register now, so that you will also get the invitation to the pitching session. We can see during the registration you can already express your interest in presenting at the pitching session. So you can already let us know if you like to present yourself or an idea. So those are two opportunities before the C2Lab, which will happen online. And then we have the in-person workshop And then on the 28th and 30th, with the 28th Cluster Summit Finland, and then on the 29th, starting the C2Lab, where, as Antonio has already explained, we do a continued work in working groups to define the goals of the project, set the scope, the target groups, define the activities, and to discuss how this idea could be put into a comprehensive project proposal. So register now in case you would like to join us to Kuopio in Finland for the C2Lab. We warmly welcome you both on the 28th to the Cluster Summit Finland and on the 29th and 30th of October to the C2Lab. The link is in the chat. You can also find it on the ECCP website if you go there. And I open the floor for any questions that you might have that are not answered yet. So please feel free to either raise your hand and we can give you the floor so that you can ask the question in person, or you can also put your question in the chat or in the Q&A if you'd like, and we will direct the questions to the colleagues. I see there's already some comments, so thank you, Aili, for presenting yourself. I hope you will join us at the C2Lab. Thank you for being there. I also see that Florian has presented himself, even though he cannot join at the C2Lab. So thanks for these initial comments, and I will give it a few moments for you to send in any questions. Hello, Oana. Thank you for putting it in. You put cultural research. You're a cultural researcher. Can we test our project idea over the email? Not really sure what that means. What do you mean by test the project idea over the email?
If I may,
yeah, Antonio, comment.
I could comment on that. Okay, our the way that we propose you to share your ideas and check if there are other people interested in them is both through the platform that is continuously online, I would say, and you can present them during the registration process or later. You can fill and present those ideas through several fields. Or you could attend one of the two pitching sessions, preparatory pitching sessions that we have announced. The first one would be on the 18th of September, the second one on the 9th of October. So you are also invited to attend those any of those two pitching sessions and present them. This will be the recommended ways to build on your ideas. If you find during those, either on the platform or during the pitching session, other people interested on preparatory work, on developing some preparatory work over those ideas, perfect. We could even facilitate it. It will not be the first time. But first, I will encourage you to present the ideas.
Thank you, Antonio. Owen, I've seen you raise your hand, so you can also speak if you like. Oh, you say your microphone's not working. Sorry. But hopefully that answered your question. Then we have the question from Julia Bent, who's asking whether she can participate as an individual researcher.
Will be more than welcome. Yes, of course. Yes.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions for any of the speakers, either regarding registration itself, about the topics, anything unclear about how this works? Is this still your chance? If not, I don't see any other questions coming in. In case you have any other questions later, you can find our C2Lab at clustercollaboration.eu email address on the ECCP webpage. So we are always available for any follow-up questions. You can reach out to us via that functional inbox in case you have any questions during the registration or later, whether you're still unsure whether you should register or not. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. I will give it one more minute to see whether anybody else has a question. Feel free to do so. Any questions, welcome. You can answer. If not, exactly, thanks. My colleague also put the email address in the chat. So in case you want to revisit this webinar, that will be published on the webpage of the ECCP, where you have all the information on the C2Lab, as well as the PDF with all the travel info to make the travels best as possible, and also the link to the registration you also have on the website and our email address. So hopefully with that, all of you can make it to Kuopio, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the C2Lab. With that, I would say we close the session. So thank you very much for being here this morning, and we hope we've answered your questions and given you all the details to understand how the C2Lab works and what will be there for you to work on during the C2Lab in Kuopio. So many thanks to all of you, and we will see you in Finland, and hopefully, if best case scenario, in the online pitching sessions beforehand. Well, thank you very much, and have a good rest of the week. Goodbye.